In this video, we say goodbye to fall and hello to winter. We're talking Winterizer Fertilizer. Let's get out of the weeds. Thank you guys for coming back to yet another video. If you like these videos, please be sure to like and subscribe to this channel. And so last we talked, it was starting to get colder and the season was starting to wind down. Well, here, just a week or two later, man, we are getting hit with a really cold temperatures. It is freezing outside right now. And so I thought this would be a good opportunity to go and just get down my last and final application of the season, my Winterizer Fertilizer application, and tell you guys just a little bit about why we do it and what to look for and how to do it. First off, with Winterizer Fertilizer, the goal of it is not for this year, but it is for the spring for next year. And so when you're putting it down, don't think, well, I'm going to be getting snow here so pretty soon, so it's no big deal. Why do I want to fertilize going into winter? Just think that, okay, what you're doing now is going to help benefit for in the spring. So even if you're somebody brand new to lawn care, have never done anything but are looking to get started, this is still a fine place to get started with. Put down a Winterizer Fertilizer application and it'll help your lawn to jump start into the spring. So in general, a Winterizer Fertilizer application isn't much different than a normal fertilizer application. Just what you're trying to get out of it and what you're wanting to put down may look slightly different than what you do for the rest of the year. Since we are going to be trying to jumpstart our lawn going into the spring of next year, we're not focused on growing a nice dark green lawn at this time of the season. So what we want to do is put down an application that the ground can take, the grass can take the nutrients now, store it up over winter, and then release it come the spring as soon as the temperatures start to get right. So with Winterizer Fertilizers, the timing is really critical. What you want to do is you want to hit that mark whenever your grass isn't really growing much on the top growth, so you're not really mowing much, but it isn't dormant yet. So if your grass is completely shut down and dormant, you're probably too late. And so you kind of want to hit that window of where it's not really growing much, but underneath the ground, the roots are still taking in nutrients at the time. And so you want to hit that time. So when you put down this fertilizer application, it's not shooting up the top growth that we typically see if we fertilize in the spring, but it'll still get that nutrients in, store it up over winter, and be ready to release it in the spring. So in general, you could typically use almost any fertilizer kind of as your Winterizer Fertilizer applications. Just some of them might not be as effective. Because in general, a lot of the fertilizers that you see in store when you're going to buy one, a lot of times their advertisement will be feeds for up to 8 weeks, or it'll say 2 or 3 months, or some will be like season long. And so you'll see this, and so what that tells you is when you start just reading the packaging, that it's slow release, and so it's releasing slowly the nutrients over a course of time. Whenever we're doing a Winterizer Fertilizer application, you want to do something that is quick release. You want that nutrients to be available to the grass right away so that it can store it up for over winter. And so what I want to talk to you about, okay, is when you're in the store, what to kind of look for and how to kind of understand, is this slow release or is this something that's going to release a little bit quicker? So now I was recently in a local store here in my area and just kind of started looking through some of the fertilizers. And so I'll show you some video here on the screen of some of the different bags. And what you want to look for at the end is you want to flip the bag over, look at the analysis of what's in the bag. And each time when you look on that, you're going to see a percentage of how much of the nitrogen in that bag is slow release. And now there is a slight calculation that you want to do. So for example, with this one is a 2009. So 20% of this bag is nitrogen. And so what you have to do is do the calculation. When you see the percentages on the back, you have to figure out, okay, 20% of this bag is nitrogen, but then what percent of that 20% is slow release versus fast release. And so I'll show you on the screen here, there's an easy kind of calculation. What you're typically going to do is just do some quick division, times it by 100, and you're going to get the percentage of how much of the bag is fast release versus slow release. And that'll give you an idea of kind of where you stand with what kind of fertilizer you should put down. Now, if you don't feel like doing all of that kind of math stuff, a good typical thing that you're going to see is you're going to see Winterizer on the bag. Or a lot of times it might be the last application. So if you're in like a 4-step program, it'll be app 4. Or I know Scott's has their own, Menards has their own, different people have their own. So a lot of times it might be the last step, and it'll be kind of be advertised for fall, or it'll say Winterizer on it. So look for those keywords if you don't really want to pay that close of attention. Okay, so here we are looking at the back of the bag here. You can see on the back that we have 20%, you see urea and nitrogen. Okay, so 20% of this bag is nitrogen. Okay, good. So what about, is it fast release or slow release? Now, if you look at the bottom, the little asterisk there, 5% slowly available urea nitrogen from polymer-coated urea. So 5% of that 20% is slow release. So in order to find out, okay, what percentage of the nitrogen in this bag is fast release versus slow release, you need to take the 5 divided by the 20 of the total, and then times it by 100. So 25% of the nitrogen in this bag is slow release, while 75% of it is fast release. So now for putting it down, you're just going to put it down just like you would any of your other fertilizer applications. Now, if you're brand new to this and you've never put down fertilizer before, watch one of my previous videos. I've done multiple videos on fertilizing and that, and I walk you through using different types of spreaders and that. And so watch one of those for more detailed on how to put it down. But for those of you who have done it multiple times, putting down fertilizer, just do your typical fertilizer application, get it down, and get inside before you freeze. So with that, get down your Winterizer Fertilizer application so you can tell your lawn to sleep in heavenly peace. I'll see you guys next time when we get out of the weeds into a beautiful lawn.